I think what you see a lot in interdisciplinary work is that people just are doing two projects and they're combining two projects and they're just putting them aside one to the other. The interesting thing about interdisciplinary work is that you actually create starting from both disciplines and you try to create something new. It could be that at some point you see one or the other discipline as a major, but at another point you might start wondering, is he or she a musician, a dancer, a theater performance? So it all evolves into one artistic performance. I think the transdisciplinarity is going one step further. So trans will mean that you are creating something new that only happens by the combination of these disciplines, and for itself it becomes actually almost a new discipline. I think trying to be transdisciplinary is quite hard because you have to know what the possibilities of your own disciplines are. And for first year students, that's not that easy, but it might happen, you never know. I mean, they're really enthusiastic, capable people, they want to study arts, so who knows, in the end it might be transdisciplinary.
I think there's a lot to be gained because it opens your perspective, and it's also, I think, what Jan Staes says. You know, initially everything is multi or interdisciplinary if you look at it. So I think it's good to be aware of that you're always in contact with different disciplines.
I cannot think of any discipline in art that doesn't mix disciplines. So any discipline you look at closely, you will see that it combines several things. There's always music and image, there's always image going with music, there's always movement and image go together. It's always mixed these days. We take the tools and the disciplines we can use and we combine them. Even if you say you are a painter, you will find your inspiration on the internet, you will print stuff, you will glue it on. When you're a musician, you will sample stuff, you will use images to sell yourself, to make your brand. When you're a dancer, you will compose your music. And so all disciplines are interdisciplinary, in my opinion.
What makes this bootcamp special when you compare this with their regular program? I think we must give them a lot of freedom in this bootcamp because they have always to follow their own program, and in most cases this is a very full program, so there is time for themselves, that they can express themselves and they can do what they want by themselves. So I think it's very important that there is a lot of freedom.
How we just combined each other's talents, because everyone can do different stuff, and it was kind of hard to fit everyone in.
Yeah.
But I think it worked out great.
Yeah. Everyone knows what he can bring in, and this is.
Yeah.
Why am I interested in the interdisciplinary bootcamp? Well, I think it's really a fabulous thing that they're offering to all the BA students to get to know each other in the first year. And just to get together for these couple of days to make a work in 10 minutes, and it's always a great experience. So I think both for the students and for me. And I really appreciate the fact that you're a coach, so you're just supporting them in their own trajectory. I think the only way I do it is to make them aware of the fact that everybody should have a part in it and a part that you feel comfortable in. So in that sense, I think it's good not to balance necessarily the disciplines, but to balance the input that the students can give to the performance as a whole.
In my opinion, the meeting of students is very important. They like to meet each other, to hear stories, why they are going to follow their study, and within this story there is a meeting to make something together. There is a kind of hunger to know something from another person, and that brings them together. The most exciting thing is that I see that students are very motivated, that there is big motivation to work together, and when the group is formed, that the process is going by itself. There is not much power for me to give them, to put them in the right way. It is going naturally.
As a coach, I'm supposed to help the students when they get stuck. I'm not supposed to be a director or a choreographer. I help them to plan their activities a bit, and sometimes I do a suggestion for them, maybe something that they do not see or haven't thought about. But basically, I just watch and am there to say, yes, you are doing the right thing. The students want to get to learn, get to know each other. That's most important, because they say their program is so packed during the normal school hours that they never meet, and it feels awkward to just in the hall go to somebody that you don't know and say, hey, are you working in another department or studying? So the interdisciplinary bootcamp gives them the opportunity to get to know each other and to work with each other. To coach the interdisciplinarity is to not work from a routine, to be able to see what is happening and let things happen, and be able to be experimental. And I think the individual quality of each student is leading in interdisciplinarity.
Voor, I felt my heart beating. Because I normally don't go on stage.
Because you are?
I'm from a teacher of fine arts.
Okay. And you guys? What's
music teacher.
your music teacher?
Classical saxophone.
Okay. So how did you guys come up with the theme?
We just started spinning some subjects and ideas.
Yeah, it started with let's do something with mental and the inside of a person, inside of the physics, and then
Inner complex.
yeah, conflict of human nature. Yeah.
Was there a moment in this process where you went, this is so great?
At the end, like when we had, like when we were like really okay, we have something now, and then we go out, we go running a lot of time like this, and then it's super nice for me, but it's more like
Yeah, when you
we
had the
something.
actual thing at the end,
Yeah, like with costume and stuff.
that was really like wow.
I think this project can be a great start to further on in their careers look it up, because I think lots of disciplines have evolved because of the influence by other disciplines. So I really hope that they will go forward with it, and then in the second or the third or the fourth year, they will still try to create with other disciplines.
Yeah, I think definitely relations could continue after the boot camp. Even I think just the fact that they know that there are different departments here and what kind of departments and what they do, that already opens up the borders to reach out to other students and to the other disciplines.
This is the beginning because they are sitting now in the first year. So I think in the future it is important to give it a follow-up. And I think on the end of their education they can find other persons to give a wider view towards their exam on the end of the school, something like that. They know other persons and they can work together. It's very important that they talk to each other and to understand the different languages of the particular parts of education.
I think when these students go into the real world after studies, then they will come right away into an interdisciplinary professional context.
No, but really, we are not even on the campus. We are really like far away. We are really just the circus people.
We can say that you have friends in Fontys here.
That's great, huh? Because for sure you guys are somewhere else, so how else are you going to be able to work with each other? Unless you make it happen yourselves.
Yeah, but like we don't know anyone. That's
Yeah.
super cool now. Like at least you get to know some people and stuff.
So if you have the chance to do this like more every year, would you be into it?
I think so, yeah.
And with the same group or different people?
Or both can be super cool. That's a hard question.
I think I would like to meet other people, but also doing it again with the same people, like kind of
It's both can be
flashback and then we create something with other people.
Lots of times you stumble upon something that you have in common, and that's your starting point. It can be, for example, I want to create something beautiful, and beauty can be a central theme. You could also say, I want to create something in public space, then maybe public space will be your theme. So that's a starting point, and from that point anything can happen. You just have to try and try out. I think one of the challenges today and within this week will be listening to each other. And that's a big challenge because you have your own idea, you know what you can do, you want to make something which is good, which is great, maybe also beautiful, and you actually forget to listen and to see what other people have to offer. So I think that's the biggest challenge this week. Looking at each other, listening at each other, and trying to create something together, not just apart, but to be one group and to create something that's actually unique for that group and this week.
I think the challenges are to actually how you can fuse and merge, and how you can step out of your own comfort zone and really try to discover, you know, other things than only thinking from your own discipline. So I think that's a challenge for a lot of the students. But I think the most exciting thing is always when they get an idea and when they really start working with it. It's always this difficult process on how can you get the group together, how do you exchange the interest, and how do you get to a theme or a concept. But once it's there, they all run off with it, and it's usually just a lot of fun.
what you see in my group very well is that everybody from his own talent and his own skill is really crossing borders, and they are creating a performance really together from scratch, and they really combine their stuff, and it's amazing how they are able to do that. It's really great.
From each other?
I think we did. Because like you get to understand the other disciplines a little bit more, so that's quite nice. Interdisciplinary.
You get to know a lot of people in the school, which is great.
Well, a little bit frustration at some point, because of course you all have a different vision about how you want to do it, and for me it was more thinking about the music than on the other thing. But it also opened you, it really opened you up to think about that. That was quite nice.
Okay.
It was a week full of laughing and frustrations also.
How was this week?
Amazing.
No, it was actually really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you ever done this before where you work with other people?
That was like this with this organization and stuff.
Yeah, not like that. Of course, in like a production or something like that, there were theater people or clown who did the theater school, I don't know, but not like that. Especially cool, it was like the art. Yeah, it was super cool how they decorated our room and what they did with visuals and that kind of stuff. That was cool.
Everything goes so fast because everybody kind of is super good in his specialty. So it's like, oh, but I can do this, and this, and then in 2 seconds we have something amazing.